Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Do you see the results sort of of the track light that that I finally got around to putting up this week? The track light that you gave me from your excess track lights. It's just, it's bad back there, so I guess
I can see into the other room.
The light. Well, that's always been like that. Let me show you the difference though. I tried doing colors, but I didn't think it looked quite right with colors. But like here's with it off.
I'm gonna wait for it.
Yeah, and then here's with it on. So it's just more like dynamic or something.
Yeah, you should make it blue.
I try. Let me show you. Let me show you. I don't know. I didn't think it looked very good. Meh. I don't know. It's not doing much for me. I kind of just prefer sort of like just
some blue hair.
Just a warm. I mean, I like the blue for my setup upstairs. I think it looks kind of cool. But I don't know. I just thought the warmer light behind. I don't know. I thought I liked it better.
Yeah, the warm glow is better. I got blue behind me, but I can make it warm. But it's warm enough outside.
It's actually
cool. I don't feel like I need to make it any warmer down here.
It's actually like quite cool outside here right now. Amazing.
Well, you're lucky, man. I spent all weekend doing yard work.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty awesome like farmer's tan. It's great.
What I know the term farmer's tan, but like I assume that refers to specific parts being a little sunburned and other parts not.
Yes, like literally just my arms up to like where my sleeves start, and like my head and my back of my neck. It's just like that's just the parts that are exposed to the sun.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Dude, I'll tell you, like I really want I've been looking into maybe buying a power washer. I was looking into it because it is actually like they're actually not nearly as expensive as I would expect.
Yeah. I mean, is this like, be honest, like what percentage of this draw
is the game?
Is Power Wash Simulator? Like not zero.
Not 0%, but I mean not a whole lot, because just power washing is fun. Like it's just like, I don't know. It's like that same thing. It's like, it's like using the chainsaw. Like you just want to use it. You don't get to use it, and then when you have the chance to use it, you like really want to use it. Or it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that you don't get a chance to do very much. And like it's the kind of things that kind of like, you have more fun doing it than you probably should. But like I want to power wash. I can hear the jokes already. Like I edged my whole sidewalk already in the last 2 days, and it was like a long it was like a whole drawn out experience.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it took about like 5 hours, I think, to do the whole thing.
Listen to this lame old dad into his yard work.
But the thing is, like, so getting in between like certain sidewalk tiles, there's weeds growing up, and I took a paint scraper. It has like kind of an edge on it, and I've just like kind of gone and digging out all of the weeds in between there. But if I just had a power washer, it just and the sidewalk was filthy after the sidewalk or the edging. It's absolutely, it was absolutely covered in dirt.
Okay. So
yeah, I've been the power washers. You know, you can get ones that just like hook right up to your hose, and it's like they're like $50 to $100 for like an electric one, like a Ryobi one. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with the Ryobi. I'm kind of like far into
a known brand. I don't know how good it is, but
yeah, it's like that. But you know, I've been kind of in the Greenworks camp when it comes to like you know, my lawnmower is a Greenworks, and I don't know. I'm just in that ecosystem, so I don't know if I want to switch out. But then I don't think that Greenworks has a power washer.
Oh man, tough decisions.
Yes.
Oh, I see we got a super chat, and there was one other. Read this after I read this one, because I can read because I just see it here. From Local S'mores Pop Tart. Thank you so much, saying, happy Sunday. So glad to see you guys took my recommendation of Corn Kid 64 from a few weeks back. One of the best 3D platformers in recent memory, in my opinion. I was trying to remember. Thank you for pointing out that you were the one, because I was like, I know someone in the chat recommended it, and I couldn't remember who it was. And it was kind of floating there in the back of my mind. And it kind of came back because I was like, okay, I was, because there's been a lot of talk of like the new like recompilation stuff, decompilation stuff for N64, and I was like reading up about it, and I was like kind of confused, like, okay, what's like a specific decomp project, and then what's this other thing that like makes it a lot easier to just like take any game. But then there's like, it sounds like there's like some things revolving around like the Zelda games that are like specific decomp projects, and then also projects with the starting point being this easier decomp thing, but it's still like doing some custom things. I was confused, and Alex did a video on DF about it. And he was saying like, they're talking about like HLE. Doing ray tracing and stuff in it. And I'll, look at this again when they get ray tracing in there. And I thought, okay, like I'm not going to do that today. I'll wait until like there's something like, for the most part, it just looks like Majora's Mask with a higher frame rate. And, I'd like to wait until maybe there's ocarina support and ray tracing and stuff like that. And then maybe I'll stream it. So then coincidentally, this Mario Builder 64 thing comes out today as well.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay, so this comes out today. I did not know about this. I mean, I believe it was not just like shadow dropped. It was being teased by the developer. And I think they had a bunch of beta testers who made a bunch of levels ahead of release and stuff like that. And I was like, I'll try that. Well, and after I ultimately dumped my own cart to get this working because it needs a 1.0 cart, a 1.0 ROM. And so yeah, I got that dumped and patched and working, and downloaded some levels. But the problem is most of the levels that have been made so far are not original hardware friendly. They run like crap. So I don't see this as being something that we can spend a lot of time on the stream. But so I was like, okay, I still want to do something in N64, but that won't last the whole stream. So then my mind went back to Corn Kid 64, and I'm like, aha, I will buy that. It's like $7 on the eShop, I think. Yeah. And so I downloaded that, tested that out. Seems pretty awesome. But so I thought I would start with Mario Builder 64. While I boot this up, why don't you catch up on the super chats a bit? Here we go.
Well, there was $5 Canadian, 40, like way before the stream.
Before the stream started, yes.
from Tilb Toast.
Tilb Toast. We love that name now.
Well, I like the idea that I'm like, instead of saying toast, it's like toast.
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 Still toast.
Just saying happy Sunday, everybody. Or everyone. Thank you. And recently, there was 2 donations from our good friend Chris Fratz.
Saying
decomp is better for mods and having code. Recomp is better for just playing.
Yeah.
And also saying I saw it on another server. I figured I'd share it.
Yeah. You were actually the one who first drew this to my attention. So you might see on my SD card that this creates a folder where you can put in where your levels that you build go in, and also levels that you can download. So these are like levels I downloaded. And we are on original hardware here. Let me show you the building interface. There's vanilla SM64 and cursed mirror. I don't know what that means. But if just to make a basic.
So what are the chances this gets C indeed? Because they want to. What is the chances this gets like C indeed because they want to make Mario 64 on the Switch 2, Mario Builder or Mario Maker 3?
So the controls are a little complex if you're doing it on original hardware, because like you do need to use the D-pad, stick, and C buttons. But like you can see, I've got like I've got a grass tile I'm putting down here. I can change that grass tile into brick tiles. I mean, it's pretty amazing that they have like a tool like this running on original hardware. Let's see how. Okay, I've got a slope. How do I rotate the slope? Oops. Oh, Z button. Here we go. So let's see. I don't know if there are enemies other than Goombas in this yet, because that's all I'm seeing. You know, you can drop some coins. You can see, we got a few different types of trees.
Can you change your angle at all so that you can see what's
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, can you, like, everything is kind of floating, or is it automatically? Okay, so you can go up and down. Got it.
Right. So yeah.
There is $5 from Enchilada Backloggery. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying ahoy, gentlemen. Have fun building some 3D type Mario with building. May Mario survive the random buildings of anything in front of him. Come on. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, you know, there's just a test level.
Let's see it.
Now, now that's interesting. Okay. So, so he slides down, because something I was noticing when I was testing things out earlier, like he doesn't seem to slide down a lot of the slopes as readily. So they must be different properties.
So they changed like the physics a little bit?
Well, I don't think they really, I think they just apply different slipperiness to different texture types, which would track with the real game as well. So
this is pretty neat.
I mean, it's neat. Like this would
the
definitely
ambition
be
is very apparent.
Huh?
The how ambitious this is.
Yeah, and the fact that it works on original hardware. I wish though that there was maybe some sort of fail-safe against doing too much, or maybe some sort of draw distance toggle, because as I will show you, so that I just wanted to, let's see,
yeah, I mean,
oops,
Kelly Gamer is right. You know, it's saying it's impressive considering it's running on the mostly based N64.
Yeah, and look at all the. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Like that makes me think of.
There's like extra tools.
Like the F-Zero, you know, they had to be on like the 64 CD to work.
So wait, can I just like put a block of water just here? Like, will that? Well,
See it.
I want to see what I want to see what happens. Like, oh, there's just some there's just some water there.
And you can swim through it.
Yeah. Now, so something that I wonder,
It's
like
that's like almost like Galaxy-esque.
yeah. Something I wonder, like all of those blocks that I put down, is that a 6-sided cube in every instance there, or are they simplifying it? Because that might be one of the reasons that so many levels have a hard time running on original hardware. Is are they not? It would be interesting if they could implement like some sort of like optimization pass if something like that doesn't already exist, where it's like, okay, if all of these objects are ultimately just one flat-sided square or something, like just simplify the mesh, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's what it is doing or not, but I wonder if that's at all a possibility. But it seems like you can't make like as complex of terrain shapes as you could as the original has, where it's got varying degrees of slopes and stuff. Like as far as I can tell, you only have that one type of slope, but it's pretty interesting. And then I see I didn't see this before. There's all kinds of different objects that I can add to my
okay, so at first you thought it was like limited at first, but there's actually a lot of stuff there.
Right. Like, are there other, but I still don't know if there's more than just Goomba. Well, I know there's more than just Goombas for enemies, because here we go. Here's the other enemies. Here we go. Because I played levels. There's more enemies than just Goombas. Okay. So here, let's just drop Bowser here.
How many Bowsers can you drop in there?
That's a great question. Let's find out. And I'm also going to drop in the Bowser bomb. Okay, so let's just put in
your boy Wiggler. Throw your boy Wiggler in.
I wonder what would actually happen if Wiggler ran into one of those Bowser bombs. Oh, here. Okay. Okay, here's Bowser.
Is there any rolling?
What happens if Bowser is in water? Like, who even knows what happens? Okay. Here, yeah. Let's put in like a couple of Bowsers and see what.
Immediately, you're like, let's try to break it.
Let's see what happens. Whoa! The way that Bowser fell was definitely a little weird. In the water, like, he definitely interacted with it in some way. Wow, so, I mean, the game is definitely slowing down, but it's running better than I thought it would for having 3 Bowsers out here.
Yeah, I bet you there's like a limit of like, you have like a polygon limit.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel they do need to have some more guardrails. Like, have an optional system in place where it's like, okay, this is if you're going to be trying to make an original system, original hardware thing. So it seems like Bowser can just pass through a bomb and it doesn't hurt him.
Yeah. You have to throw him in.
It seems that I would actually have to throw him. So let's see. Let's see.
I like that they're all like just doing their thing now. You know what I mean? Okay. Like they're all trying to get you.
Oh, okay, that didn't kill him either. So
there needs to be a.
It seems
to be like a drop off or something, right?
Well, no. What I'm thinking is, what I'm thinking is this is only the final Bowser, and so it's not because the first two Bowsers are one bomb and he's done. The last Bowser takes multiple bombs. So anyway, how do I?
Will you try some of the levels that it came with?
That's why I'm. How do I? Normally this save and test. Normally that save and test was where I thought I had the option to leave. Oh, save and quit. Okay, here we go. So it's pretty funny seeing multiple Bowsers. So these are really neat. This was like some guy who I guess was a beta tester made something like 16 levels, I think, plus. It's like the Diorama Chronicles or something. And they look really neat, but I'll load it up. Oh wait.
Are those N64 like those levels? Are they just like right on the SD card? Can you?
Yeah, it's when you boot up the game.
You can just like download the levels and play them.
Yep, I just put them in the SD card.
Dang, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let's go to play. So, yeah, this is like some series of levels that one of the beta testers did. It's called the Diorama Chronicles. And as you can see immediately, like this is meant for emulators because it's so slow.
It is, but you know what?
It looks awesome.
But it's still running.
It's still running. I guess that's some sort of non-collision block. Let me see what some of the other ones that I loaded up from that series that look neat.
I don't know. It just runs like every other N64 game.
Now. Oh, and it's got music like this has got Super Mario Kart music.
Oh.
And I like another level I loaded up had music from I think Kirby 64.
See, I wonder if does it require the expansion pack, I wonder?
Oh, I don't think so.
I wonder if they could make it so that if it doesn't, if it could take advantage of it if you have it. I mean, I would say that most people that still regularly play their N64 probably have an expansion pack.
Oh yeah. Well, and obviously I am playing on a system with an expansion pack. But, like it looks really neat. Like, I mean, obviously the geometry is pretty simple compared to what the real levels can be, but I think there's enough proof of concept here to show that like people could make some pretty advanced structures, I would say. But that's why I'm saying, like, I wonder if they aren't, like, if it was at all possible for them to do some sort of like geometry simplification pass before saving the level, where, like, because like you look at this big structure in the middle, like, is that made up of nothing but cubes, and even the polygon sides that aren't visible? Like, are they being rendered? And is that part of the reason it runs so slow on original hardware?
Right.
I don't know. But there were some levels that did run pretty decently, and I didn't really play much of them, so I thought I'd save it for the stream. Let's see. I think this is one of the ones that ran well.
How about So Retro?
That one does run fine. That's level 1.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that makes me think of I'm surprised that was never done. Was that in any other, like, as a bonus level or anything like that? Like a recreation in 3D of 1-1?
In 3D? I don't think so. But like, you know, it's in like it's in Smash Brothers and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, not like playable. Because in Sonic Adventure 2, when you get all the emblems, it unlocks a Sonic Adventure 2 version of Green Hill Zone. Of like the first.
Oh, look at this.
Like
there's a note block. That's
Act 1.
That's something that does not exist. Like that note block is totally new. But see, like, you know, they've got like a little castle over there. You know, even though it's relatively simple shapes that you're kind of constrained to here.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has like an N64 version of the Nimbus Land music from Mario RPG.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if those are choices in the ROM itself, or if people are able to upload their own. Because see, that's the thing.
Is it playing like with like the N64 audio hardware, or is it?
Yeah, it is. So that's the thing that scares me a little bit. Like, are people able to actually like just put it in themselves, or is that music actually in the patch? That's what works in terms of you know.
Yes.
So, I don't know much about how that's being done.
Kelly Gamer, there's nothing to be ashamed of in having never finished Sonic Adventure 2, especially. I feel as though Sonic Adventure 2 has like the worst camera just about in any game I've ever played.
I have not played that much of Sonic Adventure 1. I've only finished 2. And the only reason I've even finished 2 is because the only reason I finished 2 is was because you know, it was early GameCube, and you know, it was like, well, it was kind of a novelty anyway to get like a Sonic game. You know, that I didn't have any stuff like that before. So Retro, yeah, this is just, you know. Oh, but what's neat about this, I don't know if this is something that again is in the game, or if they somehow made a custom version. Yeah.
They changed it.
And it's got like, you know, dot eyes and stuff. It's the, you know, Mario 1 colors.
That's cool.
I don't know if there's no pipe object.
At the bottom there?
Huh?
What do you think? What's that bar? Those two bars at the bottom?
Oh. Oh, that weird. I guess that's. Was that in the other levels too? I didn't know. So it seems like I've, you know, got like 8 pips of health.
Yeah.
That's. Oops.
You know what this makes me think of is the Mario remade in the Unreal Engine, kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, are you talking the one with like Chris Pratt, like the realistic Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Did that ever get? Was that ever like released in any form?
Like playable? I don't know. I feel like it was.
Like it was definitely done in Unreal Engine. I don't know if it was like a playable. It was definitely a playable thing, but I don't know if it was like if they released it. But I thought it was really funny.
It was super funny. Yeah.
Oops. Dang it. Well, anyway, but yeah, that level does run on original hardware. What else do we got here? I loaded this creepy castle. It seemed to run okay at first, but then it got back. This is the one that has Kirby 64 music. I think it's Kirby 64. It's definitely Kirby. It's definitely Kirby. But I can't tell you if it's 64 for sure. Someone in the chat will definitely know. But yeah, it's chugging now. But what's kind of interesting about this in theory too is that you could make a lot, you know, like you point out, like how that like floating water was almost galaxy-like. Like you could make levels for Mario 64, and of course people have made like all kinds of ROM hacks, like total conversion games, basically. They've done that kind of stuff before. You know, but you could have something like this that's like a more linear platforming challenge. I mean, you know, this is, you know, relatively straightforward in its design here, although difficult. But like you could have that with the Mario 64 designed around the Mario 64 mechanics, which I think is interesting because we've not really had that kind of, other than like the Bowser levels in the original game. Like we really haven't had like those linear platforming levels in this engine.
Yeah. So Aurora in the chat says there's 2 different modes you can do for Mario Builder 64: Vanilla and Beyond the Cursed Mirror, which incorporates features from one of the creator's hacks, which is where the light bars come from.
Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, hey, I did it. I guess you have no recourse but to just exit level.
Is this too real to be real? Is Verse the Blood is asking if this is.
It kind of is, really.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that you never would have thought was possible back then.
I never would have dreamed I would be doing, even though it's running, most levels are running really badly. I certainly never would have thought I'd be doing this on original hardware. I mean, if this was like a real officially released Nintendo game back in the day, like I would have lost my mind over it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like nowadays, like I don't have the time to dedicate to something like this. But if I did, like if this was back in the day, like, oh my gosh, I would have gone nuts.
I get nuts.
So anyway, I since it was topical, I thought I would.
I don't know. Mario sure like does detect grabbing onto like hanging rope-like objects in this better than in Stellar Blade. And Stellar Blade has a real problem with like, like you have to grab on the ropes a lot of times, and I like go through them a lot of times.
Oh yeah, I see that there's that $2 super chat from Mitch B saying 64B chugging, and indeed. Well, let me think. I think there was one other level that I downloaded that ran. I think this one ran okay. Yeah, this one runs okay. Certainly not perfect, but it runs. Will this sign congratulate me for getting up here? You need a cork box? What the heck is a cork box? Is this music from Paper Mario? Maybe?
When is that new is Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door remake come out on Friday?
I think it comes out, yeah, next week, I think.
There's like everyone was talking about how the Walmart, like, you know, like they're only selling it in stores or something like that.
Yeah.
I had originally bought it from Best Buy, but it, like, people were, was Walmart the first people to like have it available for pre-order or something like that?
Well, I wasn't even going to get it right away. Like, I was just going to get it sometime later. But the fact that Walmart thing happened made me think, like, ooh, like maybe it's got like some sort of weird distribution or or is very very limited.
Well, the general consensus seems to be that like they are perhaps underestimating the desire for it,
which is crazy considering it's like by far the most popular Paper Mario, and people have been asking for this for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're really underestimating desire when you consider that they skipped remaking Paper Mario 1 and went straight for Thousand Year Door. So to me, that indicates that they know what people really want. Although I'd say people also would really want to remake it. People would also be less fussed about 30 FPS if it was a remake of the original, because that was 30 FPS.
Yeah.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that it sells well enough that they say, like, well, we should just like stop with the gimmicks and just like make stuff.
Make RPGs again. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that seems to be like what a lot of people are hoping for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's enough of this, but I just wanted to highlight it since it just was randomly like a cool thing that came into existence today.
Yeah.
I hope
we're on the cutting edge.
Yeah, well, we're always showing the latest and greatest here on the MLiG stream. But I do hope like someone like this Diorama Chronicles, like this is designed to run on emulators, right? Yeah. I hope someone takes the same concept of like creating like sort of a series of connected levels, or you know, in theory connected levels that are kind of curated as a optimized for original hardware, right? You know, some sort of designed adventure for original hardware players, because I don't know if the developers like underestimated the desire to do this on original hardware and not just emulators, but I would imagine that because of how easy this was to get running on the EverDrive 64, I would imagine there would be a lot of demand for this on original hardware. But there's this whole world of Mario 64 ROM hacks and like total conversion games and stuff like that I know nothing about, and maybe that scene is much heavier on the emulator side than on the original hardware side, because they can do more insane things perhaps on an emulator that's just too much for original hardware to not chug through. But anyway, I just thought that was neat and wanted to show it. So let's switch on over here.
So Paper Mario is on Nintendo Switch Online. That's probably why it's just easier for them to probably not remake the 64 games, I guess. They remade 64 games on the 3DS, I guess. And now they're focusing more on.
So I'm leaving this in the 4.3 layout here, because this game it's got a surprising set of options. So the default was actually 240A. So like there's like A, B, and C, and they're all different sort of scanline implementations. Like A and B are kind of just like different levels of strength and like maybe even color
like
temperature.
Bloom, looks like a little bit maybe.
C has a little bit of a CRT mask on it as well.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's there. It's probably
It makes me kind of think of like what the what is it, the Ultra HDMI. A little bit of,
yeah. And then there's like a blurrier one, I guess.
yeah.
It's kind of got like some chromatic aberration or something. But then there's 240 no scan, which I think is going to look best for the stream. I'm actually, because it is, on the 240 mode, it's very easy to pre-scale it. So I am actually using this mode with RetroTink effects, my custom RetroTink effects. And then check this out. It's got a 3D. Is this for like side-by-side 3D on like some VR headsets?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, yeah.
Like what? Like I'm shocked. This game is on Steam, but like I'm surprised Nintendo wasn't like, oh, you can't use that feature with our system, so you're not allowed to have it on here.
Well, will that work with the Labo?
I was wondering about that,
I mean,
but I don't
have that crap. I mean, do you?
No, I don't have it. So I don't. Does anyone know if it works with Labo?
Yeah.
Like, does Labo even have lenses of any kind? Like, would the lenses like correct? Would it be even possible for the lenses to correct that distortion? I don't know. Anyway, there's also there's 3D.
So you're not
3D,
gonna play like this, though.
with no scan lines, no. You know what it makes me think of? It looks like when you output like 480p to a CRT, to a 15 kilohertz CRT.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm like, what? Why do they have that mode on here? And I'm like, oh, 3D. And then there's also 360p with no scan lines. Oh, I guess there is there no 360p with scan lines? Okay, there's no mode like that. So I think for the stream we're going to do 240 no scan, which looks a little janky actually. Like it looks like it's got some weird stuff going on the horizontal. So like they were obviously like.
It looks like you turn off the anti-alias too.
Oh, right. Well, so what's funny is anti-alias was off by default, which I thought was strange. Because like if this is going for N64, I think anti-alias. You can do.
But it's going with the deblur.
You can do.
It's called deblur.
Well, no, but it doesn't have really like when you do 240 no scan, it does not look like deblur N64. It's still got like some horizontal jank to it.
Yeah.
So you can't do like the clean deblur style. So the anti-alias, that's different from deblur. So anti-alias off was the default, which surprised me. You can do 2x and 4x. I think 2x looks the most like actual N64. And what's funny is that the horizontal camera is inverted by default. And of course, I'm using the Switch Online controller, which in my brain, holding this controller makes me want inverted left and right camera controls. Like I didn't even think about it. Like it was just like, oh yeah, that's right. That's correct. Also interesting to me, widescreen was off by default. Now you turn on widescreen and it appears to function just fine, but that indicates to me that like the intended experience is 4:3. And so I'm going to leave it that way because I think that'll work nicely for the stream. I wonder if the 360p I wonder if, like, obviously it wouldn't increase vertical resolution usually. It wouldn't go at 360p certainly, but like, because that doesn't exist really. But like, I wonder if that's like kind of meant to be like an expansion pack mode or something, just for fun. But yeah, like I got to applaud them for like sticking to their guns on like the low res presentation here.
Yeah.
You have to hit on the title screen here. You have to hit the R button to go to Trident controls for it to be an appropriate button mapping. Also, it says ZR to erase because I just ran around like the opening room. Let's see. Is this? hold ZR. Is that?
Are we planning on making a video on our VR Quest experiences? Not planned. I mean, like all I'm like just solely focused on getting my tour video out by the end of the month, and then all bets are off at what I'm gonna work on for like
Z counted. I thought Z functions
forever.
as ZL. So why does it say ZL ZR to erase?
I think.
And it's not working. Hang on a second. Let me get my proof.
But maybe, I mean, it would be fun to do the to do something with the.
I mean, I've not even tried capturing it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't. Okay, hang on a second here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how.
Have you tried this Europa demo? It's like
No, I haven't tried any.
It's shockingly good looking for a Switch game. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't.
Let's change grip. Okay.
I very rarely play demos unless. Sometimes I only play demos if it's something that I've been planning on getting in the first place.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if the reason it didn't work is because ZR and Z. I think that's. Oops.
Beat Saber is really cool. Like I got that and have been playing it, but I feel like Synth Rider. I like Synth Rider a little bit more than Beat Saber.
Okay, I think the reason it didn't.
I've taken advantage of a lot of sales that they've had on the Quest, and I don't know. I just like.
I'm really curious about that Clap Hands golf game.
Yeah. Well, apparently it might
$30.
be on something else too. It might be on Switch. It might be a port, or maybe it was on mobile before.
Well, I know that they did do like their own thing. Like that's not. You know, it's,
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I there's like, you know, have you like really looked through the Quest store very much?
A bit. I was messing around with it this week.
Did you see that there's a version of Myst on there? There's a VR version of Myst.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I got that on Steam.
Oh, okay.
So something that I think is interesting about this, if I go back to the graphics settings, I'm just like kind of fascinated by how they're actually rendering this game because, I think my settings got erased because
the reason I think I like Synth Rider more is just because I like the music selection better. The Beat Saber music, like I'm sure the custom stuff is awesome. I don't know if you can have like custom songs on the meta version or not, but I just like the music in Synth Rider more.
I don't know how easy it is to tell on the stream, but something that just fascinates me here. If you turn widescreen on and off, like obviously you guys aren't seeing the expanded view here, but you can see that it's like the horizontal rendering quality becomes worse when you turn widescreen on. And obviously the Switch wouldn't need to do that. It's got the power to run this game. But the fact that, like, I feel like they're trying to stay true to some function of how this game would run back in the day. Because, like, it looks kind of janky. Especially if you turn off the anti-aliasing. Let me turn that off. Like you might see a little more clearly. Like it looks worse, which is just. I mean, they're definitely going for an aesthetic here. I appreciate their dedication to the bit.
Yeah. I mean, is it supposed to be pretty long or is it?
I think it's like how long the beat said, like 5 to 6 hours.
Oh, okay, so it is like a full game.
Yeah, this seems it appears to be from the same publisher as those like McBat 64 and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a different developer.
I mean, I feel like I only heard about this because I think I saw Nitro Rad mention it at one point.
Yeah, well,
I had no idea what it looked like.
Local S'mores Pop-Tart was the one that first brought to my attention in a stream a few weeks ago.
Okay, so getting custom songs in Beat Saber on the meta version is annoying, and you have to use an old version. So that's just not something I want to like get too much into. But Synth Rider just like has more stuff that I'm interested, like more music that I like.
Corn Powers.
I got like a 2-pack of Super Hot VR and Pistol Whip. I think Pistol Whip is kind of awesome. Super Hot VR is really, really cool, but you like have to move around a lot in it. And you know, the room mapping is great, but I had to really crank up the "Are you close to the wall?" setting. So because I punched the wall like trying to grab something one time, and you really move around in the space. But Pistol Whip, you're just like on rails, and you can just sit there and you don't have to move too much. You like duck and step to the side and everything. So on May 4th, they had that Vader Immortal trilogy of like a series of like 3 chapters or something it's like a Star Wars thing called Vader Immortal, and they're usually like $20 each, but they had a deal where you could get all 3 of them for $10 like total. And I haven't played it. My son played it, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Kids like to play the job simulator. There's several things that I haven't really played that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get this because I want to. I see, and I bought Half-Life Alyx on streaming or on Steam, so I could stream it to the meta. But I don't know. I almost like just having things. If I can buy it on the store, like I'll do that before I buy it on Steam. Just because I like to have it on the system, and if I could see myself like taking this places. But I always just keep an eye on the deals, because sometimes they'll have like they just have like 30% off or like big deals on it. I got like Res recently. It was 30% off, I think. I have Walkabout because it was like included with the meta, like the whatever it is, like their version of PlayStation Plus. You got like 6 months free when I bought it, and then it's like, I don't know, like not even super expensive to have it each year, and you get a couple of games every month. But Walkabout, I haven't played Walkabout Mini Golf. I've heard that it's really cool, really cool. What's the Star Wars PSVR 2 game? No idea what it is.
I mean, there's the Rogue Squadron game.
But I only try to spend like $20 at the most if I can. I don't think I've bought anything that's like been really expensive.
Yeah.
Getting people to try VR rarely makes them want to buy one. It's true. It's true.
Say what?
Getting people to try VR rarely makes them want to buy one. I think that that's true from my experience so far. There's one thing called Wander that's using Google Maps with Steam with the Steam link was fine, but Wander has it all built in. It's just its own app, and you can go back through history of locations, so you can look at all kinds of old like photos from the same location from as many times as the car is driven by. How do you feel about the lack of PlayStation 1 first-party games coming out this year? I'm not even thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've in some ways I've kind of gotten used to that being the case.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be that case, with everything. And
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
I have more than enough stuff to keep me occupied.
I mean, I've been losing interest in first-party Sony stuff anyway in recent years. I feel just not completely, but just in general, they're not making my kind of stuff as much lately. They started off great with Demon Souls and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, early in the generation, but I don't know, lately I just haven't been that interested.
I'll come back to that in a second, but I just want to say, I see that Brandon Arnold is asking if anyone has with the Quest has checked out Meta Horizon Worlds, and
I went in and it made no sense to me.
I mean, it depends on what you like, I guess. I thought it was cool because I checked it out and there was a big K-pop concert happening, and I let my daughter try that because she's way into it, and she thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
But she's not been oh, can I check that out again? It's very funny because just the character models, they just look kind of silly, and it's it's very you can go to these concerts and see other people watching at the same time, but everyone just looks ridiculous, and I wish I could just make it not happen, not see them. You know what I mean? But it's just very obvious. They're oh, this is gonna be Ready Player One, and I'm come on, it maybe in 100 years. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I haven't gone to I haven't seen any of the first couple of days I had it. I checked it out, but I haven't really been in there since. But in terms of Sony first party stuff, I really like Celebrate. I played a little bit in 240p last week on stream.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
think I'm almost at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a first party game that interests me. But
yeah,
Sony first party just has not been a massive priority for me in the past couple of years. It just feels like. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of them are games that I think I'd like to get to eventually, like Stellar Blade. But,
yeah. Zanzia says, nothing has really pushed the PS5 to make me feel like it's more than a really good PS4. Now they're coming out with a Pro. It's silly. And yeah, it's perhaps a bit silly. But on the flip side, a really good PS4, I'm totally okay with that. I'm okay, I've said it before. I just wish that everyone would just be okay with like the level of graphics we're getting right now, and just
or like optimize graphics for the level of power we have.
Yes. And the thing that sucks about it is that like people have been conditioned like, oh, it's always got to be more. So like now the whole thing is like the like the AI frame generator. Is it DLSS? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So that's like, oh, if we can get this really good, then we can, you know, make it seem better than it, like make it seem like a true upgrade for people. And I'm kind of just like, I wish it would just be, I think we would just be okay with what we have. I mean, you know, maybe this generation needs to last for 20 years.
You know, that would, in some ways, in some ways that would not be bad.
I mean, everyone was like it was crazy that the PS3 generation lasted for as long as it did.
Yeah. Well, PS4
and that
PS4
felt like a jump.
A long time too.
That felt like a jump, and I feel like they should just wait until it feels like a really huge jump, and they can make this stuff without I don't know, like firing everybody, making it so expensive that they got to fire everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing about, you know, the generation lasting that long would be that people would still be trying to like push more and more and more and more, and you know, the games would run worse, ultimately look worse, because they're like trying to, oh, well, this is a really hot graphics technique, but they have to reduce the quality of other aspects so much to make it even work. But if they would just like, I don't know, why don't you just do like what Falcom does and just make like PS2 looking games run at 4K 60 or 4K 120?
Yeah.
like that's all I want. Like I just want really nice looking PS2 games, you know?
Yeah, stop trying to make this stuff look realistic. Right? Just like make it stylized and cool, and it doesn't have to be realistic, you know, you can work within your constraints. So, I don't know, like it just feels like things have really got to be, like everybody's got to rethink what's happening here. Because I don't even know. It feels like that's the only solution. Yeah, like aesthetics is greater than graphics. And you know what? Like is like we said it before, like what's the most important thing? And like didn't we say like the most important thing is like vibe, the vibe of a game. Is like just focus on that. Like making, you know, like working within, like with your strengths, I guess.
This game has a vibe.
Yeah.
This has an,
and you know what? It's
like
made by like 2 or 3 people.
This was made, you know, this is
one person.
This is like Euro N64 game. The vibe. Like this feels like that.
I mean, that's what it is. Like,
that era of Ubisoft, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about over this looped music is awesome. I can't hear the music, so hopefully it sounds funny. Yeah, way too much reliance. I mean, like we're already like far beyond, you know, like where things are like really bad. Like we are far beyond like sustainability. shorter games or games that, you know, that don't have to have a million things or a completely fleshed out open world every single time. Like, I mean, I wonder how much of the like budget in a lot of games like just goes into like creating this like completely fully realized open world every single time, right?
Yeah,
it feels
why does every game have to be like the biggest thing ever? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why can't?
Well, because they're afraid that people will complain, like, oh, you know, like this is not worth this money if it's not going to take me $900 to get that platinum trophy.
Yeah, and like,
I mean, like that's like a good example of that. I think is like Final Fantasy Rebirth. I mean, like it was great. I loved it, but I almost wonder if there's just like too many. Like there's too many mini games in there, and I know that you could like not do them, but I almost feel like is just like almost too. Is like almost too much.
Look at this guy. The garbage grump.
Yeah, wanting more smaller games is all well and good, not backed up by sales numbers. Games are still very much hit-driven business. Yep, I mean, I guess that Prince of Persia, although that shouldn't have been like a $60 release.
But like, let's imagine, like, I mean, there are developers out there doing this. Like, what if, you know, you were a small independent team, you know, like 12 core people, you know, or less, say, you know, like, how much money do you need for that to work? You know, like, you just need to be making enough money to pay those people to make your next game, right? Like, you know, I understand when it's like a big, you know, mega publisher or something, everything's got to be a hit. But like, you know, there should be more smaller companies, and I'm sure it's really difficult to run those and make it work. But you know, I feel like there was a lot of that in the N64 era, in the, you know, PS2 era. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Smaller games, I mean, like, you know, if everyone was forced to make smaller games, then the audience would be forced to play those games.
Yeah, that's
maybe
right.
They would be like, oh, maybe this isn't so bad. It's about the money, and I don't know. I don't think there's any answer except for like, I mean, I would say like one, like there's gonna be only a few companies that own everybody.
Oh man,
like, that doesn't seem to be going very well.
Check this out. When I'm underwater and I look up, you see these like bubbles floating that are like, they're not underwater, they're like above water, and you'll see when I get above the water, like there they are. That's like, that is so N64. Like, you know, just like that is just not blended right. That's great.
You know, Kelly Gamer says, bring back great AAA games. And I mean, I think a lot of AAA games are probably great, but I would be okay with like AA.
I mean, here's the thing.
I feel like AA stuff should be like, they should try to make the AA stuff be better. I mean, would anybody in the chat consider, you know, like Yakuza or Like a Dragon 8 to be like a AA game? Or is
I mean, to me, like, I think of AAA as more like the publisher, like the tier of company it is, regardless of the tier of game that they release, right? Like,
yeah.
Like a Dragon definitely straddles the line, you know? But I think what K-League Gamer might be trying to say, rather than just bring back great AAA games, like make the scope of AAA games what it used to be. Like the problem is that what defines AAA has been this sliding scale. It's just bigger, 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 and then people expect and expect and expect and expect more. I don't know.
See, if AAA is like Elden Ring and Final Fantasy Remake, then most games barely crack AA. I mean, I don't know. I've not played Elden Ring, but I almost feel like a lot of the the Souls games, like they don't feel like they don't have the bombast that AAA games tend to have, and I would almost feel like they're AA in a way. But maybe this is coming from some place that somebody's not played it. So, I mean, is it AAA just because of the amount of content that it has in it, or is it
just like the amount that people are talking about?
You know, like when I think AAA games, I think like set pieces, like expensive set pieces. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I tend to think of, I just tend to think of companies, you know, like AA didn't even used to be a term. Like AAA, I don't think really became I mean, I could be wrong on my definitions here, but like to me, AAA is not so much defined games as it is like, these are the big boy publishers. These are your Nintendos, your Sonys, your Microsofts, your EAs, your Ubisofts, your Capcom, your Square Enix, your Konami, whatever, right? Like it's a AAA publisher. And then there was indie games that weren't owned by them. They weren't famous. They were smaller teams making smaller games. Like that used to be the distinction, and AA wasn't even a term.
Yeah.
Like to me, it was just like
it just comes down to like how expensive they are.
Yeah, but I think that has become what it is. But like to me, AAA used to just be like, okay, these are the famous, well-known, well-established companies, and then these are the newcomers. Like that was what the distinction used to be to me. Yeah,
but now it's like, if a game, like as Alex Gavin is saying, anything with a budget of $100 million and over is definitely AAA. I mean, what if a game's cost just spirals to the? I mean, is Skull and Bones only quadruple A because it was like, was it the most expensive game ever made? Maybe, which makes it all funnier, I guess. What about Mr. Bones? I don't know. I mean, every level is different in that. Yeah, quadruple A equals development hell. Yeah. If Skull and Bones is quadruple A, what is Beyond Good and Evil 2? I mean, they do say it, like they say it like actively still in development, right? Like I think I've heard that it is still in development. I don't know. It's gonna be 5 A's probably at this point. Depends on how much money they're like regularly pouring into it. Probably just taking that money and buying drugs with it at this point. It's infinite A. Duke Nukem Forever is AAA. Yeah, I mean, I guess like, yeah, it's, I don't know, like I don't even know if it's, maybe we just get rid of the entire scale. You know, like if there's, you know, like AAA and AA, like what's less than that? Like they're not even on that scale, right? They're just, you know, like you can get like a D tier game. Accurate grading extra. That's true. I don't know. I mean, I would say that Stellar Blade feels like a AA game, and I think that it's probably all the better for it. Although I'm not sure if it's gonna end up meeting like sales expectations or what.
What game?
Stellar Blade. I mean, I don't even know like what what they is like what are the expectations for that at this point, considering
like
that,
apparently nothing meets expectations anymore.
Yeah, nothing meets expectations these days. And then those companies just have to make other games to hopefully do better so they can make the sequel to the game they always wanted to make. You know, I worked on like the year-end video. I was like writing my stuff about Alan Wake 2 and about like how they couldn't make that game because the first one didn't do good at the time. And they just had to like hold out until like they made enough from like other games so they could make the game that they wanted to make. Throw it up. We're done with A's. No more A's. I agree. He does like that drill move. B tier is the new AAA. Or it's the new AA, sorry. Yeah, it's awesome when a small budget crushes it. It's like they know what they want to make.
Oh, I see. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Alan Wake 2, like I think it needed a sequel. Although I'm waiting to see what the DLC is going to be like. Oh, I was not disappointed with the game itself. I don't know if the finale of the game was the best.
You're talking Alan Wake, right?
What?
You're talking Alan Wake, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I liked it.
No thoughts, no opinions.
Oh. Okay, well, don't read my bid on it in the year-end script then. I mean, I've just kind of decided that I'm just making my stuff as long as I want to make it. Like I talk a lot about it, and I feel like it's going to be like a 3-minute segment on that game alone, maybe more. I look forward to hearing your opinions in a few years.
Yeah, I would like to get around to it. You bought it on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So I have access to it, but I need to play Control first.
Yeah.
That's.
Was Control on your list for this year?
No. And speaking of my list, instead of moving on to other games on my list, I thought after I finished watching the Fallout show, I'm like, well, when else am I going to be in the mood to play through Fallout 4? So may as well capitalize on that and do it.
Yeah. So did you get like the upgraded version?
Well, yeah, that was the other thing. It's like, well, they're because I already owned it on Xbox One, so yeah, and the Xbox Series X current gen patch was screwed up at first, and like Digital Foundry did 2 videos on it, and so it's like it's fixed now. So, and basically you can run, I mean, it's not perfect, but you can run native 4K 60 FPS pretty good. Like you can choose your like quality and frame rate targets separately. And so I just have, 60 FPS target, 4K, and just have VRR on, and I don't notice any issues. So it's great. But although I will say, maybe someone in the chat, can tell me if I'm crazy. Did they like completely ruin the VAT system? Am I crazy, or does VAT suck now? Because the VATs, if I remember correctly, used to pause the action, and you could freely choose who to shoot, what body part to shoot.
Oh, you can't do that anymore?
Well, you can, but now they move. It doesn't completely stop time. I think it stopped time, if I remember correctly, in the PS3 360 era game. I'm pretty sure it stopped time. Now they move, and it's always janky, as soon as it first comes up, because it's always it'll show the percentage chance you have of hitting each body part, and then it briefly drops to 0 for no reason, and then jumps back up again. It's kind of bad. Yeah, okay. I see Trigger says VATS in Fallout 4 does not pause as in FO3 in New Vegas. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. I like, even with their jank, I like my Bethesda games. I have to confess, but I'd been playing that one off for a long time. The game's kind of old by now.
Did you like the show?
Yeah. I thought it was really
cool.
Good.
And that's coming from someone who's never really played any of them. But I mean, you played a bunch of them, so did you feel like?
Well, I mean, I'd really only played 3 in New Vegas before. I've only played the Bethesda Fallouts. New Vegas is incredible. And of course, Fallout 3, maybe isn't necessarily amazing on its own merits, but it was at the time it came out, it was a novelty, because it was oh, okay, well here's Elder Scrolls but with guns, you know?
Yeah.
So it was certainly a novelty, and then New Vegas like definitely has like much meatier RPG-ness behind it.
Yeah.
And cool faction stuff. But anyway.
It's $10 from EV Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As always.
And just beat Half-Life 2 on PC and OG Xbox and bought a semi-broken Saturn while patiently waiting for my Saru. I feel I'm shutting myself off more from modern gaming day by day.
Wait a second. Did you beat Half-Life 2 on PC and OG Xbox back to back? And if so, in that order? Because I'm really curious about this.
Might be interesting.
I kind of want to get the. I mean, I kind of want to get the original Xbox version of Half-Life 2 just because I think it's interesting that it exists. Wow, EVGL 2 says yes. I mean, it was awesome. I'm fascinated by that. What made you choose to play the PC version and then the OG Xbox version?
Probably just curious to see like how it runs, I guess.
This is, you know, I am not like raising my eyebrow at you necessarily, because this is coming from someone who, not back to back, but who beat it on PC and then played through it again on PS3. So I did something that most would consider similarly unusual.
Yeah. So I ordered a Saru also. I hope that I ordered a legit one. I'm looking forward to trying it out. They're not that expensive either. It's like $60, and I got one with like the new chips. It was like $5 more to get one with like new chips. Is that like? Hopefully that's what I want, right? Not like the refurbished chips.
Refurbished chips?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's like you go on AliExpress, and well, I mean, there's like a billion different ones.
And what about
like
shells?
I don't know, like you go on there and it's just like they just throw everything at you.
Well, what about shells? Does it come with a shell, or do you need to get one separate?
It comes with a shell. I mean, you go on AliExpress, like I don't go on there very much, but it's like it is like the Wild West. Like literally, they just throw everything at you. Like it's just like a Saru, and then I scroll down and it's like. I had to take some screenshots of this because like I was like, what, like who is, how, like 140 people bought this item, but 1,000 people had added these butt lift hip for buttocks hips, like a drip, like a fluid you eat, and apparently it's supposed to make your butt bigger. And I'm like what I think is so funny. It's like a dropper, right?
Well,
I'm completely
what
serious. Like this,
remind me how this connects to the Saru?
The name on the like the little vial, it says it's essential oil. It's called Beautiful Buttock. Just one.
Just one.
Just one. But it's called. But I think it's. I was scrolling through it. I was like dying like at everything. It's like, okay, so.
But wait,
you can buy 10 and get 12 free.
How did the Saru make you aware of this?
It just like showed up on the front page. But you can buy 12 droppers or buy 10 droppers and you get 12 free. But what I think is really funny is that it says, and you can also order a pack of one, and underneath it says like in parentheses, it says not recommended. Like pack of one, not recommended. If you're gonna buy it, then you better get the 10 and get 12 free.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you only buy
like,
one,
I can't believe this is
that's how you end up with only one beautiful buttock.
Because
you only bought one
buttock.
Yeah.
It's called Beautiful Buttock.
And And now your buttock is going to be uneven because you only bought one.
Yeah. So I mean, I was dying when I saw this because it's just like, what even is this about?
I mean, have you found any reviews on YouTube for beautiful buttock?
No, but I like that 140 people bought this item. 1,000 plus have added it to their cart.
I mean, it was on the front page, you know. So.
It says, it says, and one of them shows like a thumb. It says top one.
Top one?
Yeah, plus 100% natural.
100% natural.
Yeah. Back of one, not recommended. But I mean, like, that was like after I bought the Saru. Like, that's what showed up on the front page. I don't know. Essential Oils link, affiliate link. Nah. I guess today's stream is going in weird directions. So, do you read that note? Did you do that?
Do what?
Like telling you spin one way and.
Yeah, I figured out what. I think it's just to make it easier to get up on these ledges.
My life in butt oil. Yep, that is.
Well, this game is all about headbutting, so.
Yes. For the Love of Game says the music in this is so droning it's like listening to the Turok OS soundtrack. Oh, so you want to talk a little bit about your Ultra HD player?
Well, did you get one too? Or you're
yeah, I've ordered it, but I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, I mean, it seems good so far.
Yeah.
You know, it's it can actually do Dolby Vision, which you can't do with HD discs on consoles. And I just like I like the idea of not putting miles on my console disc drives for movies. So
yeah,
I could see myself getting more into some HD physical or excuse me, UHD physical discs a little more than I have been. But yeah, I mean, it works. The apps seem real bad on it though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use that.
I mean, if it was like, I wasn't sure if it might be running like, Google TV or something like that, and you could just like download it like it was an Android box. I wasn't sure if it might be something like that. But yeah, it's right. It is not. You do not want to use it for your streaming, but it seems nice for discs, and it also like seems to load up the disc like a lot faster than like Xbox Series X or whatever.
Oh yeah. The other thing that really sold me about it is I talked to Joe from GameSack a little bit about it, and he's like, he buys them a whole bunch, and he was like a projectionist in a movie theater for a long time. He says my reasoning is basically 4K is roughly the resolution of 35mm film, give or take, and it's a great way to have a lot of my favorite movies. He said even when or if we get 8K or higher, the perceptual difference is going to be so incredibly minor it won't be worth talking about unless it's like you have a 300-foot screen.
Yeah, or if like...
And he says they used to project 2048 pixel wide movies at theaters for many years on a 50-foot screen. So I mean, and I talked to Dustin about it. He's like, I like 4K because it's it's almost as good as having like a print of the movie if it's like done right. And that's why one of the things that put me down that path of like, I'm only gonna try to get movies that have like good transfers. Not like I don't really want like a 1080p upscale or anything.
Yeah.
Like something that's been like rescanned. Like if it's like a movie that I really really like, you know, for new movies that's totally fine because I'm sure that they're all like native.
Yeah.
You know, like a new scan of it, or it never even was on film, obviously. So I think that's like a big thing for me is that just get stuff that is like native 4K.
It's funny that we were like both thinking about this at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, yes, exactly. Like I was thinking about it, but I was like, this is not something I want to even consider right now. But I could see just like having some of my favorite movies, you know?
I mean, you've surely got at least a couple of UHD discs, don't you?
Well, I mean, I have Terminator 2 and Blade Runner 2049.
I think Terminator 2 is one of those that's not considered a great.
Right, but I mean, I didn't know at the time when I bought it. Also,
I almost bought it when Amazon was doing that 3 for $330.
Oh, Terminator 2 was one of those?
Yeah, it was.
So I didn't.
I thought
like,
about
I
it, but it was a
looked for things
cheaper.
that-
It was a cheaper one anyway. It's only like $10. Like, I could see myself getting it anyway, unless I mean, I have the Blu-ray. Unless the Blu-ray, like, is it worse than the Blu-ray? Is it? Because I think they changed like the color grading to be really bad or something. I don't know if the Blu-ray also has that issue or if it's just a 4K thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain ones that I would like to get, but you know, like that have been like totally like DNR'd to the point where there's like no grain on it. Like that is annoying, and everyone like looks like wax. Like that's what's so disappointing. Those like the new James Cameron stuff. Like I really like True Lies, and I love Aliens, but I feel like I'm gonna hold off on getting those. And I love The Abyss. I don't know if that one was like as bad as the other ones or what. But you know, like I got a couple of things from that buy 3 for $33. Like I got Jaws, which is a great movie, and I heard that like the transfer on that is like absolutely incredible.
Oh really? Oh, I should get it too.
What else did I get? I was gonna get Jurassic Park, but it was gone.
Oh really?
I got Dune.
I got it.
Because I've not seen the second one, but that's also the same director as Blade Runner, and like I like the movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like it's one of my favorites, but I don't know. I feel as though it's I can justify it. And I got the Goonies. I don't know if that's going to be one that's like good or not, but that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's like a decent transfer, or maybe it's just 1080p. I don't know. Who knows? But when I talk about like getting like standalone things that are not part of like a bundle deal.
I think I was supposed to do this section first because they're giving me a lot more like basic advice.
Oh, The Thing was one of those offered also, and I guess that's a great transfer.
I already have that one.
Oh, cool.
I got that one a while back.
But I mean, like, I don't want to get too crazy with it, but you know, it's funny because I've been listening to like my CDs a lot lately, as opposed to like streaming stuff. I've been just kind of going through because I had bought a bunch of CDs at Goodwill when they had like a lot of them for like $1 or less. I have like two gigantic binders full of them. Is the Transformers UHD like pretty good? Because I mean that's what I would like to Transformers the movie. I would definitely get that. Is that like a new native 4K? Because I would definitely get that. Okay, well I mean that'll sell me on it. It's like, I'll add that to my list. Oh, it's not even that. It's less than $20 too. And I have the Crow coming. That should show up tomorrow.
Nice.
But I'll get that Transformers the movie. I feel like it seems to be that a lot of these, they don't make like a huge print run of them. Because I've seen like a lot of them that are just,
yeah, I mean,
they had to do like reprint editions of certain ones.
It's a niche product, sadly. Even though, you know, you would think there would be a lot of them out there, you know, a lot of people could use them with, you know, their Xbox or PlayStation, right? You'd think.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you had a chance to like look at like a Blu-ray, a regular Blu-ray in there, like how it upscales?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like pixel peeping or nothing or recording any comparisons or nothing, but I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would work the same way with films anyways. I'm just wondering if it.
Yeah, I thought it looked real. Well, that New York Ninja movie I was telling you about.
I just ordered that Transformers movie.
that New York Ninja movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like made by a company that specializes in like this stuff anyway, like digitizing and stuff. Like they had the reels for this unfinished movie and like completed it. And I mean, you know, that it's their specialty, so like it looked really, really good. You know,
right.
just a real great film grain look to it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what you want, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I've been hearing a lot about. You know, a lot of these movies do the digital noise reduction, which takes away a lot of texture from people's faces and stuff like that.
But now like they're getting AI involved, and like I guess it looks a lot better in a lot of cases, but it's still like
the thing is like noise is not your enemy. Like noise, for one thing, you know, gives it that convincing film texture, and two, noise means you don't get color banding. You know, same thing with dithering. You know, that's the trade-off. You either have dithering or you have color banding. You either have noise or you have color banding. I mean, they help. Those are things that help solve those problems, and it's kind of literally a natural solution that just comes from the film process. You know?
Yeah. Well, the color banding, like this is something I didn't really realize until recently. I was working on something for work, and there's like a gradient in the background, and I was getting like color banding. And like what I did is I put like on the export, I was getting a color banding on the export.
And you put a noise filter on it?
Yeah, well, because H.264 is a 8 bits per channel codec. So you'll get the color banding, but if you I put a adjustment layer over just that and put a noise filter on that, and it was like a circle, so I just like put the like a mask on that adjustment layer just to be where the gradient is, and it fixed it.
Awesome.
Like at a 1% opacity.
That's see?
It works. It fixed it. Yeah, it like dithers it.
Yep. It's moving.
All right, I gotta. You know, Dustin saying that he just gave you access to his Plex. He says there's plenty of you can do some dumpster diving on there. He's got some real trash on there. Although I started watching the new Beavis and Butthead movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna fill up my water. I'll be right back.
All right. I've done everything. No, I can't have done everything in here because there's those. How do you get up to those screws that I drilled through the wall? They're over there. How would I get up there? This way? Thus is trash is still another's trash. Speaking of which, I downloaded, I didn't play much of it, but I downloaded on Game Pass that Another Crab's Treasure, which seems awesome. And I really, really hope it gets a physical because it seems really... I really wanted like kind of a cute and colorful Souls-like game for a long time. Like I've always thought, I am not aware of any takes on the genre like that otherwise, and it's pretty good. I mean, I just played like 15-20 minutes, but it's pretty good. Where's Sandy? Sandy's just laying down right there. You want to say hi, Sandy? Come say hi. Oh, come say hi. Oh, there she is. There she is. There she is. You want to sit here? You want to lay on the floor? You want to lay on the floor? Let's lay on the floor. It's too hot. Let's see. So it seems like the main thing you do in this game is you get, your hootenannies, as we like to call them on the backlog.
Oh yeah.
Your hootenannies, your collectibles, are these little experience cubes, but it seems you need a lot of experience to level up. I don't know if leveling up actually gives you new powers or anything. I like that corn-shaped iris.
Oh. Does it go bow wow?
Yeah, I mean something along those lines. It's pew, wee, wee, wee. Oh, there's an experience. Hidden.
So tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. She's gonna be 12. Last of the preteen. Last year of preteens. It's gonna get more difficult. From here on out, it's already pretty. It's been difficult.
Whoa. So ultimately, I have to get some door somewhere.
I got her a carton of cigarettes. For her birthday this year. Is this still the first level? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly open-ended in terms of like how I can approach it. I'm trying to figure out though now if I can get to where that girl was originally telling me to go to. Actually, can I get this?
Chain smoke. Just gonna be forced to chain smoke them.
Oh, that worked, sort of.
Enjoy. She smokes the whole carton in one sitting. She can play Corn Kidz 64 for an hour. Time to focus. This song is starting to suck. You gotta beat this level. People are starting to go insane.
I mean, I think the song is in the background enough that it doesn't really intrude. It's got a fun vibe to it. Yeah, I think I've done things in like very much not the order they really intended.
Yeah.
Like maybe
gum cigars. I remember.
I feel like maybe this is where I should have gone in the first place.
I've never gum cigars.
Oopsie.
There's a big hub area you unlock soon.
Yeah, I
remember Sky Blazer. Yeah, I streamed that last year.
Oh yeah.
Is Spencer's Gifts even still around? You know, I don't know if I had mentioned this before, but I recently went into an FYE, and I kind of cannot believe that company is still around.
Yeah, same. When Audie was here a couple months ago, we went in one as well.
Yeah.
That's actually probably like a good place to buy some UHD discs.
I feel like probably not, because I don't think they ever like lower the price on anything.
Well, that's true, but I mean, if you wanted to find them in a real store, that's probably one of the few places that would really have a decent stock of them, I would think.
Yeah. I went through like a little bit of a when I found out they was still when we went to that one, I looked into some other like the history of it.
Yeah.
About how like they bought Camelot Music, and it kind of brought me down like a little rabbit hole of like old like media stores. Like, there was like Camelot Music, and then there was the Wall. I don't know if the Wall it might have just been music.
That's not ringing a bell.
And before that, it was National Record Mart. That's where I bought my Transformers the movie soundtrack on cassette. Strawberries. I'm not familiar with strawberries. All right, that's what I'll do is I'll wait for sales. Do they have like where you can buy a whole bunch at one time? You mean? I mean, I don't want to get too crazy because I don't have like a big place, like enough place, like space to put out like a bunch of movies, and I don't want to have it feel like a job where I need to watch these movies. I just want to get the stuff that I know that I already like.
Yeah,
I did all that.
I don't really like my movie storage as it is right now.
Yeah.
So how do I get up to that door anyway?
Yes. Like Orgasmo. That movie was very funny back in the day. We're gonna talk about. I don't know if that's going to be appropriate for kids, but I always thought that the villain's name was very funny, and it was like a running joke for a long time, definitely with some friends. Yeah, well, I mean, I have games. I don't want to get into like another thing. I mean, I went through that with DVD. I bought a whole bunch of movies on DVD. And eventually, I was like, I don't want to. I'm just going to keep the ones that I want. I've never owned a single movie soundtrack in my whole life. Does that make me not a true movie fan? I don't know. There's like a difference between owning a movie soundtrack and being a movie fan. I don't think that I don't think it matters.
I mean, I used to be into movie soundtracks, but I've moved over to really only caring about game soundtracks in terms of what I buy.
I mean, I have game soundtracks, but I don't think I bought a soundtrack, like just specifically. I mean, I guess I bought some stuff. I just bought like the Knights soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for like complete CD sets, you know, those are getting rarer, but they, you know, they're, you know, Nintendo started finally doing a few of them. It's been a while since they've done one, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land is coming, which is I'm very excited about. But the thing is, like, soundtracks are getting so long now.
Right.
So like they are like they're pretty expensive sets. It's not. In some ways, I'm glad that the ones that I want don't actually get released that often, because some of them are pricey.
Yeah. You want to know what I'm kind of into right now? To totally change the subject. Well, yeah, we were tangentially talking about it. I'm kind of into like, have you ever like been on like Amazon Prime like video and seen like the freebie stuff? Have you seen that?
I'm unclear what that is exactly.
So they have like channels on there that are just like constantly live.
Oh, like live channels?
Yeah, but they like have specific subjects, right? Like sometimes it can be just like a show, and it's just like in progress all the time. So it's not like you sit there and have it like think about what to watch. You know, like there was one that was just like 80s sitcoms, and I turned it on and it's like, oh, Alf is on.
I'll watch, like you would never choose to watch Alf, but if Alf is on.
But if you just do that and you just like watch and Alf just happens to be on, I will totally watch that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Pluto TV is the same way. Like I just think it's really nice when it's, because I think that you can get so caught up in the amount of choice out there that it's just nice to be told what to watch.
I mean, and see, I understand that. I understand that, and I think that is. Oh no, I did. I did. Anyway, like,
can you do me a favor and start walking really slow again? I just want to see him do that tippy toe.
It is pretty good. it's got quite a lot of granularity to it, you know, in terms of.
Okay, but what you're saying, you appreciate that stuff?
Well, not. I mean, I understand why people like it, but like, I mean, I have never really liked television as a medium, really. Mm-hmm. And you know, the idea of, you know, you watch what they've got for you to watch when they've got for you to watch it. Like, I think the fact that you don't have to think about it is exactly why television, you know, remains popular among a certain segment. And I can also very much understand feeling nostalgia for that.
Yeah,
it makes sense. But
another thing that I like about it is that, you know, I forgot what I was gonna say. I lost it. I had it there and I lost it. I don't know where it went. I a lot of times will just like put TV on in the background, and it's perfect for that. Just to like have it running while I do like other stuff.
And see, I can't do that. Like, I would like it if I could do that. I might like it, but I can't, because I mean,
you ever like it's similar to just like listening to music while you like.
I can't do that. Well, I can't do that either.
But I've gotten from you, like I've heard you like listening to music while you shoot B-roll.
Oh, sure, I can do that, but like, but if I'm editing, I can't do that.
Oh no, I mean when I'm like, for sure, like I would never put it on when I need to like listen to what I'm doing.
But the problem is, there is nothing to do but listen when you're listening to music, right? But when you have the option to watch something, like I can't stop myself from like paying attention to the thing that is there to watch. It can even happen with like podcasts. Like I don't watch a lot of podcasts because,
I mean, I almost never like watch them.
Well, you mean watch podcasts?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't either, but because there is that aspect of like, I have to like be paying attention to this to like absorb it. Whereas like music is music I've heard before and I really like it, but like it rarely becomes a distraction, right? But if I'm listening to a podcast, like I want to absorb what's being said. So I often will do things in the background, but eventually what often happens though is I just like stop doing whatever this other thing I'm trying to do is, and I just stop and sit there and listen. And I mean, I don't mean to, but it just happens. And so it would be 10 times worse if it was TV. Like I would literally get nothing done because I can't just listen to it.
I get that. Like, I mean,
don't get me wrong. I wish I could, but I can't.
Well, I that's why I think it's nice, like, especially when it's something that like I'm familiar with that I barely care about.
Right.
I mean, I just like the noise of it.
You mean you aren't passionate about Alf? Is like
no, but
the greatest.
I did not realize like how good the Alf theme music is until I watched it the other day. It's like the perfect television sitcom 80s theme. It doesn't have any lyrics, but it's just like it has a sound to it that is like you can immediately place when it was made. The dad in that show is like real goofy looking. He looks almost like an alien. He looks more like an alien than Alf does. And it was so stupid. It's like I never even like barely watched Alf growing up. But I was like, for some reason, had in back my mind like what planet he was from, and I was like, it starts with an M. My wife was just like not interested at all. and she was in the middle of a sentence telling me something. I'm like, Melmac. And she's like, good. Like, I don't know why I can remember that, but I can't remember like so much other stuff.
I remember, like, I don't remember ever watching Alf, but I also like I remember liking Alf, but I don't remember ever watching it. Like, I don't know if I was like familiar with Alf like through some other medium.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
And I was telling my son about it. I was saying like, oh, you know, like he always wants to eat the cat, and he was like watching. He's like, so when does he eat the cat? And I'm like, well, I don't think he ever eats the cat. He just like always wants to.
I love this. I love this idea of like your son like seeing.
He's expecting like he's always eating like a cat.
Well, no,
like
I love the idea of your son like seeing what this show Alf is, and then like I'm envisioning that it like takes this dark turn.
Yeah. Well, what if in every single episode, like, oh, he eats their new cat.
Like, oh, Alf. Did I go up
there? That crazy Alf. But yeah, that's I just found myself like enjoying that a bit.
I mean, I understand.
Should definitely listen to that theme song sometime too. It is. I can't think of a more 80s theme song.
How does it go? Can you
no,
convey
it's like
it
all
through
like,
your
like
voice?
saxophone type stuff. It came up. What about Perfect Strangers? I mean, yeah, that's a good one. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was very taken by. I can't sing it. It doesn't have any like words to it. I'm not gonna. I don't know it very well either. I can't do it. You should just like look it up and listen to it. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like a whole bunch of stuff to
but like I was
if
aware
you're like
that
looking for stuff to put on.
I was aware that Amazon has like additional channels you can subscribe to, like you know, they do a lot of free trials for them, and like, oh, you can do like a 1 week free trial, and you know, here's this, you know, this movie that, you know, there's a selection of movies that you can watch through this service, and you can get like a week free trial. I've taken advantage of that a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's great when you just want to put something on that you can ignore. Because that's exactly what I am doing, really. It's just putting on so I can ignore it. There was $1.99 from M.A. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Saying smoking this ganja and watching some MLiG. I hope it's good for you. Hopefully, you know, you're not sitting there thinking, what are these guys talking about? I'm not going to sing any songs for anybody.
Not gonna sing any songs.
No. I have on good authority that the podcast episode that we recorded like nearly a month ago is gonna be released tonight at midnight, I think. I think we're gonna switch for the here's my question for you podcast. We're gonna switch to a bi-weekly format. So it's just like easier for both of us to manage our schedules and release. Get it back to being normal. A normal release schedule is just going to be every other week, I think. Schedule 0. Or were those leaves you fell in? Or are they rose petals?
They're leaves. It told me it was safe to fall in them. Whoa. Oh. Hello. Oh, is this a shortcut? You know, speaking of cornhole, when I was searching for this game on the eShop, there is like some sort of cornhole championship game for like $30.
Okay.
You might need to see this actually.
You're gonna. Is there a demo?
No, there's no demo. But I just want to show you this on the eShop.
Is there a sidewalk edging simulator, you think?
I mean, maybe.
I know there's a lawn mowing simulator that I was like thinking about getting.
See, look! I searched for corn, to find Corn Kidz 64. And here is.
Oh, look at that ACL Pro cornhole.
Pro cornhole. Like, look at the like this picture is like presented in a way of like you know all those people, right?
First guy, the guy in the middle looks kind of like Peter Moore.
Yeah, but these people must be like
so
to the people who would buy this game. They see those people on here, they're like, oh man, these are the real pros. Like, look at this. Like it.
It
looks like
guys,
weird.
Look at how serious they are about it.
It looks weirdly good. Like, look how this lady in the front has like a depth of field effect around her, and look at the sparse seats of people watching the cornhole championship. Like on a technical level, doesn't this look better than pro cornhole should look on the Nintendo Switch?
I bet it's actually kind of awesome. I bet you play it with the Joy-Cons and you can.
Oh, I wonder. But it's $30. Like I looked up to see if I could find a physical copy, because if this was cheap, I would get it for the laughs.
for the lulz.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
But look at how serious they are.
They're very serious.
Like they are real serious about
cornhole.
About it.
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore of cornhole.
So I should probably go through this door, even though it looks like there's more things I
think that everyone's like
do around here. Okay, I really can't go.
I feel like you've been in this single level like the entire time.
I have been. It's big though. So I'm gonna go through this door because I think it's gonna be another level.
Too big to me. Can you go in the portal in the cornhole?
I can't go in the cornhole. It's only for the girl. But she says I could revive there maybe.
Back in the parking lot.
Okay.
When does Hellblade 2 come out? Or is it out?
I think it comes out next week.
So how long do we think Ninja Theory lasts? Once it's out. I will give them a year, unless they already have something else in development. I will give that. I bet you they will. I bet you they will be around for a year.
Yeah, I am very nervous for them. Very nervous for them.
Yeah.
I think I might actually play the game fairly soon, and to support them if nothing else, right? Not that I have any clue if me playing it on Game Pass even supports them, but I'm not buying a digital copy of it. I don't like they're setting them up for failure. I feel like not doing a physical. If it does come to PlayStation 5, like hopefully there would be a physical.
I don't know. Like I think that I don't know if it would be a success or failure even if they had a physical. You know, I don't know if it would make that big of a difference, honestly. I have a feeling that the game probably is so expensive that it would have to sell like way more copies than anybody has any idea of.
Because it's on Game Pass and it's like only on platforms with Game Pass. Like it's not gonna sell. It's not gonna sell. Like I don't like. What are they gonna do? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I That's the thing, like I don't ever think that it was ever meant to be like this, like an event.
But it has to be because everything has.
But it has to be, yeah. I mean, that first one was like.
The first one was meant to be, let's make
something
AAA quality on a smaller budget.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what that first game was supposed to be. Like AAA quality on a smaller budget with a smaller scope game. That's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's not allowed to be that anymore.
But I mean, I think that that's like,
of course, Microsoft says
saying the length is going to be like the length sounds like is great to me, but it makes me worried that it took as long as it has to make. Like I wonder how long that first one took to make.
A lot less than the second one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very worried for Ninja Theory.
Is there anybody we're not worried about? Who, like, you know, you look at like different.
Capcom sounds like they're doing pretty good. They're about to increase everyone's salary.
Yeah.
Nintendo's doing good. I'm not worried about Nintendo. I'm not worried about Capcom.
I'm not worried about Nintendo.
But like anyone, like basically all Western AAA-ish stuff, I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And also maybe a little worried about Square Enix just because they keep having unrealistic goals, I guess. Like
it's fine too. Like they're safe.
I'm sure they're fine, but like
until they're not.
All this talk of like Rebirth, like not meeting expectations, like
which seems like such a sure thing, right?
Yeah, like it makes me worried about. Oh, this is a little bit familiar, huh? Definitely makes me worried for the next part. I mean, the nice thing could be if Rebirth Remake Part 3 is not so massive, right? But
yeah, I think it'd be better if it's like not.
Yeah, I agree.
If every single area doesn't have 17 mini games.
It's going to be really interesting because it's going to be real interesting because they've like done so much in Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
There is not enough places in the world really to go that you haven't already been. And so I think the flow and scope of the game almost has to be different.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
What I've been thinking about a little bit recently is how after I played the first one, my opinion on it improved after the fact, and I feel as though the opposite is happening here. The further away I get from it, I'm like, well, there's like a lot more annoying things about it than I thought about at the time. Like time treated the first one very well, and it's less so for Reaper.
Interesting.
Zion Farm is asking if you remember these YouTube video you did with Epos Vox on OBS streaming setup.
Oh gosh, I don't know what it was called. Because searching his channel for stream setup video is not exactly going to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sorry. I honestly could not tell you what specific video that was. Which Mr. Driller are you playing, Henry Clark? I know the GameCube one is 480i.
Yeah, Ninja Theory did the DMC, the Devil May Cry reboot.
Yeah, which I mean, I am not like a big DMC fan or anything, and so I've heard people who didn't hate it for how it was different from the Japanese developed DMCs and tone and presentation. Like I liked the demo I played of it. I've always meant to grab the PS4 version of it, and
I have the PS4 version. I heard that made some huge improvements.
Well, I think it's 60 frames per second for one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do want to try that. I mean, I've generally liked all of Ninja Theory's games I've played. I mean, I even liked Heavenly Sword. The only game on my pledge list I've beaten this year. I mean, it was very flawed for sure, but I liked it for what it was.
But it's short enough that you don't.
It's short
get so caught up in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Foreign User says that it had great. DMC had great combat and exploration. I think people went into it wanting to hate it, and I think that's true.
I think that is true.
Yeah, there was no way they were going to change people's minds.
I've always liked like I am not like the biggest like character action aficionado, as people tend to call the genre. I am not the biggest aficionado at all, but I've generally liked the combat in Ninja Theory's games, which you know may not speak well of for actual character action aficionados. I don't know, but I've generally enjoyed their combat. Something about it seems a little more straightforward and tangible in some way to me, I think, than like, you know, your real DMCs.
Right. You know, that trilogy, the Devil May Cry trilogy that came out on PS3, like I had forgotten that it came out on PS4 and Xbox. I wonder how much it improves everything, if it improves anything at all.
I don't know. I mean, it was considered pretty bad, right?
No, I think it was decent. But I wonder.
I mean, but they're absolutely like, those are very much games designed around the PS2 hardware for sure.
HD redo. So was it pretty much the same? I mean, I don't know if it would run any better, more consistently. Less buggy. I don't know. Is that the homage to Tomba?
Oh, maybe.
B. Wow. There it is. Oh, peeking it up. Jeez.
Man, the way that those mud splatters look, I mean, that's
oh yeah, they like kind of.
That's very Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I mean, this seems to do a pretty good job of emulating the feel of an N64.
Yeah, I mean obviously
obviously it runs smoother.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff going on here that couldn't be done on N64 this well for sure, but this is absolutely the closest I've ever seen to the look.
Even more so than McBat.
Oh, easily. I have not played the latest game.
If there's an option to make it run at a lower frame rate, would you choose that?
No, but I do appreciate that it's not 60. That would feel weird. It's 30. I do genuinely.
I mean, there is some intent.
Think 60 would feel weird for this. Like it just. I'm sure you could do it on Steam though. But I feel like Switch should be able to do this. I feel like Switch should be able to do it at 60. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason that it's not. You know, a non-creative reason.
Since they asking if I got a Turvis glass, I do. Yeah, I have too many of these. My mom really likes these, and for a while there was just sending so many of them that we don't even know what to do with them. She's like, but if you put ice in it and it sits in the hot car all day, you'll come back and the ice will still be in it. I'm like, great. So be sure to give us 12 of them. So now you can have 12 glasses of ice in the car. And the ice will still be there if you leave it in the car all day. If you played Pseudo Regalia. I know that name from someplace, but I don't even know.
It's not ringing a bell for me.
Zach is asking if you were given a chance to revisit any previously experienced year in your life, what would it be? If you were given a chance, are you allowed to re-experience it knowing everything that you know now?
Like
if you're given a chance to revisit any previous experienced year in your life, which year would it be?
I mean, I feel like this is not necessarily with the intent to change anything.
Well, what if you could like change things, but it doesn't change? It's not going to change the outcome of your life. I guess like you can change and have fun within this. Like that year is a sandbox, and you can do whatever, but it's not. You will go back to exactly how things are.
Yeah, Zach says I'm right. So the intent is not to change anything. It's just that, man, that was such a good year. You want to experience it again.
So you wouldn't get to know what you know now. You wouldn't be knowing what you know now.
I guess
if you can't know what you
what you
know now, I don't want to do it. I don't care.
I mean, imagine that you just like go to bed tonight and like you experience like your favorite year of your life, and then you just wake up the next day and you would feel like, man, that was an awesome dream. Yeah, like you'd feel good.
I guess. I don't know. Like I don't know. Would you know that you're re-experiencing it? I think that's the question. Like if you know that you're.
Yeah, I mean, under Zach's hypothetical, I feel like yes. That seems reasonable to me. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, you know, there's always the hypothetical of like, oh man, I'd love to look at the game shelves and, you know, 1993 or whatever, and all the things I would buy before they get expensive or something, right? But that's more of a time travel.
Right. Yeah, you don't know you're in a golden age until it's over. Yeah. I mean, Matthew McFetters says, yesterday was my birthday, and tomorrow I start a new job. Emily got me through some tough times recently. Thanks for your weekly streams and awesome videos. I hope you're doing good. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
And good luck at the new job. Hopefully it's something it's an exciting job and something that you're looking forward to doing.
I mean, in some ways, like, I would almost be tempted to say something like, you know, I mean, if we're thinking like video game focused, like, I would almost want to re-experience like 2007, 2008 again, when like I was like really like beating my backlog, you know? Like that was, you know, some of those last challenging games, like that was, you know, there was a time where I really missed the backlog, you know? Or like it was like once that backlog was gone, I like almost didn't know what to do with myself in terms of gaming anyway. It's like I was working toward getting that backlog beat for so long, and I was like, man, sometimes I want to buy just like a bunch of games and build up my backlog again to have something to work through again. And now what has happened was not what I intended at that time.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome just to have every game that you play, like you beat every game you play?
Huh?
Wouldn't it be great just to be like that you would finish every game that you played?
That would be great.
I mean, but you don't have to worry about playing games in your backlog. You're just like, all right, I'm gonna play this and beat it, and then I don't have any other unbeaten games until I buy something else.
Yeah, it would be nice, but we're past that.
Cool decision.
Scott Snyder has been a member for 45 months. Adding a TestSmart 16 HDMI switch and a third GCOM switch to simplify my setup. Looking forward to Coury's video for more ideas. You're going to probably get a lot of similar ideas than you're already using. Cornhole stream when? I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll add it to my wish list and see if it goes on sale. Just so I can look very, very serious.
Yes.
When I'm playing it. Just like that. Oh, it's on the table. Yeah, I put it in the Bush's beans bag because I couldn't find those bags. The card is on the top. I didn't put writing it.
You put something in the Bush's beans bag, huh?
Yeah. My daughter's my daughter's carton of cigarettes that I got her for her birthday. I got her a baked beans gift set, a carton of cigarettes. part of having such a fun year, such a year's experience it for the first time. So knowing everything that happens would take away from the novelty of the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it now, and like, I don't think that I would re-experience. If I didn't know that I had experienced it before and how everything was going to go, and I couldn't do anything a little different. And even if I just went back to like everything being the same as soon as that year was over, like I don't know, like I don't really care. I don't need to do that. You know,
well, we need to make a movie about your life where you do magically re-experience some year, so that you discover that what you really needed was to re-experience that year.
Yeah,
and that is what will change your life.
The fact that so many people are saying, like, is this running on real hardware? I think is really a testament.
Yeah.
Glad the whole family is using the beanbag. I mean, I kept it for a reason. And I'm not gonna, I'll put other people's stuff in it too. How did my LASIK turn out? So my LASIK's been good since getting since the horrific experience of getting my touch up. It's been pretty good. It's still kind of hard to drive like at night, but I think that it was like hard to drive at night anyways. Like I'm at that point in my life where it's like, oh, driving in the dark is like not super appealing to me and difficult. Like, anyways, it's just like a little bit more difficult now. So I will wear glasses when I'm driving at night for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like it's hard to drive at night just in general at this point?
No, I don't have trouble driving at night, but I do feel like in just like the past couple of years, like looking at things up close and looking at things that are more in darker corners is like for example, like I've got a keyboard over there that's like under a shelf, and I like mounted a light, like one of those like puck lights that you just like tap and they turn on, you know?
Yeah.
I mounted one under there so that like if I need to like look at the keyboard to like punch in a number or something, like, you know, and then I can type without looking at the keyboard, but like sometimes when you're entering a password, like you want to be sure you're hitting the right keys. It's also not like the keyboard I normally use either. So like my muscle memory isn't, you know, great on that keyboard. So like I always like tap that light to like punch it in. But like, you know, I feel like I used to would have been able to like see in that darker area a little better maybe. But like definitely like up close, like I used to say like, oh man, like bifocals would drive me crazy. Like if I ever needed bifocals, I just wouldn't get them. But in the past like while I've been thinking like, I'd consider giving bifocals a try.
Yeah, well, you know, if you just want to make the rest of your life like really difficult, then you would not get them. Eventually, you just hit a point where you're like, you know, it may not be what I want, but for the sake of not driving myself crazy when I can make things easier on me,
yeah,
I just do it.
Well, it's just that it feels like it would be annoying. It feels like it would be annoying. Like, okay, the upper part of your glasses you can see far, the lower part of your glasses you see close. It just feels like you'd be like adjusting your head a lot, you know. But maybe it's not that bad. I don't know how much more expensive they are, though. But like I've definitely been thinking about it because it's like up close has become noticeably worse in the past year or two.
Yep. I keep some reading glasses, but I usually don't need it. But if I'm like looking at my phone, I just like kind of have to hold it away from me. I don't mind. I have like some reading glasses. I'll read in with some distance glasses. But in general, since the experience has been a lot better. Since the experience of getting that touch-up. Old School Legend is asking, does anyone use their PS2 for PS1 games? I have both my PS1 and 2 connected, but I really need more space. I'm considering using the PS2 for both PS1 and PS2 games. There's nothing wrong with that. You might get the occasional graphical issues, like very, very rarely, and only in specific games.
It's pretty uncommon. Most of the time, it's very accurate.
Yeah, I mean they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, it's in fact, there was I remember when I played Wild Arms 2. I started it up and then I went to my parents' house for the weekend, and my Toshiba CRT used to be at their house, and that I would sometimes bring a system and play some games on it. I was like, man, and this was, keep in mind, this was like, I don't know, probably 2000, probably like 2010, 2011, thereabouts. Or, yeah, it was definitely before MLiG. But I was like, oh man, you know what? Instead of playing on my PS2, I'm gonna play it on my PS1. Isn't that crazy? Like, no one plays this stuff on PS1 anymore. That's crazy. Yeah, I just thought that was like the craziest idea. And I just thought it was like so funny. I was tweeting about like, I'm playing on a PS1. Cause like for so long, like I had played my PS1 games on PS2 for a long time. And played them on PS3. And I just like it, just the idea of playing on the PS1 itself.
And you're probably playing with component cables.
Exactly. And see, I didn't have, the best I could do on PS1 at the time was RGB. So yeah, at the time I was like, this is the best.
Well, it would have been,
what did I say?
You said RGB.
I meant S-Video.
Yeah.
At the time it would have been S-Video. So yeah, I was like, at the time I was definitely like, oh yeah, like this is the way to do it. So yeah, I for a long time I just thought, who would play on an original PS1? Like, no one's doing that. I don't know if that was actually the case, but like in my mind, I was like, no one's doing it. So yeah, I mean, if anything, I think most people would consider playing on the actual PS1 to be a little weird. But not most people here, probably. But most people.
Well, at the time, for sure.
At the time, for sure, yeah. Because it is good backwards compatibility. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was notable at the time for being like, most people will be using as a complete replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is good enough to be a complete replacement, even now.
It is. I mean, there are issues, but they're minor.
So few and far between.
Some later models might have more compatibility
you probably
issues
notice
than
them
others.
if there is. Like the whole moon thing on that one area in Symphony of the Night. I don't know if I would even notice it.
Yeah, I mean it's something that you can pretty easily ignore. It's
Yeah.
It's I'm not sure if well, wait, no, that's Soul Reaver 2, not Soul Reaver 1. I was thinking that there is a glitch in Soul Reaver 2 on PS3, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep, the PS1 core on this is amazing.
PS1 what?
The PS1 core on the Mister.
Oh,
yeah. There's $5 from Matthew saying about clarifying something from 2 weeks ago. So I'm assuming this is like when I wasn't here. Metabo is a German brand, got bought by Hitachi, rebranded as Metabo HPT, Hitachi Power Tools. That got bought by a big investment group.
That doesn't sound familiar to me. Are you sure that didn't have something to do with
Thank you.
The power tool brands you were looking at? I mean, that particular thing isn't ringing a bell for me.
Just like the power washer. Let's talk about Ryobi. Apparently, Ryobi is Home Depot's like in-house brand.
Oh, so is that good or not?
I don't know. I guess there is a Greenworks though, so I might as well just get a Greenworks. I'm like in that ecosystem. Also, The Last of Us is saying power draw is way lower for PS1 if you want to play PS1 games and help the environment at the same time. Good to know. I gotta use the bathroom. I will be right back.
Oh, I didn't realize it was 11.
Yeah, it's 11.
Should probably be wrapping up shortly. I feel I'm making much slower progress in this level here. It's a little more challenging to figure out some of the things to do here. Can I like grab onto this or something? Okay. Ow. Yeah, there's more to that than... This is definitely a confusing level so far. Oh, I bet. Okay. I need to get something that let me dig underground. That will probably let me go in that wall too. Like a drill Kirby. There's gotta be a box or something. Something up there? Can you hear Sadie scratching up the couch real good so before she can lay down on it? Scratch. Yeah, there's gotta be a block or something around here that can fall on.
Alright. Everyone's saying the music is getting irritating in this game.
It's got a cool vibe, but you definitely are in these levels for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it's probably like 3 levels or something, based on what I saw of how long to beat. Said it was like 6 hours or something.
There's $5 more from Matthew saying, I have an impact wrench for my car and an impact driver for work. From them, I prefer Metabo to Makita or Milwaukee. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Britney's dance beat. Brave Fencer Musashi forever.
Forever.
My drill is in Milwaukee. Oh, you wrapping up? You save and quit?
Yeah, I saved and quit. It sounded like people might have seen about all they needed to see at that point.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Like I don't mind wrapping up on time tonight, especially since tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, so I'll likely be up even earlier than normal. Or are you gonna try and do something?
I don't know. I thought not that I really want to do anything in it, but I thought I might for a quick second boot up that Europa demo just because.
Yeah, let me see what it looks like.
Just kind of really nice looking. I think it's in terms of consoles, it's only coming to Switch for now. I think. Hang on a second. Is this? Whoopsie.
DeWalt is better. Yeah, I mean, there's some. Let's see.
Let me change that real quick.
Corn Kids music on loop 10 hours. It's my favorite YouTube video. I didn't realize I was sliding off screen, I think.
Oh, can I not continue? I played like a little ways in the demo and I was just like, oh. Let's skip this. I mean, it very much seems like. Oh, I guess I can't skip it. There we go.
Total Redo or Redux is with $5. Thank you. Saying, hey Corey, did you get the Assault Suit Vulcan SNES cart from LRG? No, usually when I get one of those cartridges, it has to be like a game. Like I understand that like that's the first time it's getting like a real translation like that. But I have Cybernator. I'm fine with just like maybe playing that on the EverDrive. When I get those kind of games, I'll buy stuff that like maybe that didn't get released originally. I'd rather get something that is like about as close to official as possible. That hasn't been released or been translated till then. Like I got like the Wily Wars cartridge because it's about as close to the official thing. I mean, it is the official thing at this point. And that the translation that's in there was, it's the original translation because it was on the Sega Channel and stuff.
But the island should still be there. They built this thing to last.
That sounds like a neat look to it, right?
Yeah, it does.
I think it's one of them feeling games.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think it's like, I don't know, it almost feels like a cross between like Zelda and Walking Simulator, maybe. Although I'm not even sure if there's combat in it. You like slide down hills like in Journey. It's a cool art style.
Yeah, it feels cool. I like the cell shading. Skelvin I say is saying, holy crap, is this Europa? Is this something that people know about and are like very excited about it?
I don't know.
That just like you're trying to get to the top of that mountain or something.
Or is Skelvin Knight just saying, "Holy crap, this is the moon Europa. It doesn't look anything like I thought it would." I think it is supposed to be that. I think this is like a long time after terraforming Europa or something like that.
Is it supposed to be really? Actually,
I think, huh?
Is it really?
I think
Like you're talking about like the Jupiter moon.
Yeah, there it is. There's see, there be Jupiter.
Oh, awesome.
So I think this is like, I think humans like terraformed the place a long time
Yeah,
ago or something.
I like yeah. As Brandon also, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. This is what happens after it's been terraformed by the monolith. And because isn't that what it says? You know, like
the jumping feels
in 2000.
I mean, it's not.
It's like, you know,
it's not an action game, but the jumping feels very, very laggy. But I think there's also more to it because there's like, I think you're supposed to like charge the jump or something. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But it's like it's not an action game. It's I think it's supposed to be more of a pretty narrative game. But it's got a cool vibe to it.
Will you look up it up against like that right there? Just like seeing Jupiter in the sun in the sky like it's a moon.
Yeah,
is
it's pretty striking.
Like I like that imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's
that alone has made me more interested in it. So it's only available on Switch?
I think so. I don't think it's out yet. It's Switch and Steam, I think. I don't know if there's a physical. It's got very much like a Breath of the Wild color palette.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just seems kind of pleasant. Looks a lot better than you might expect of a Switch game.
Yeah, exactly.
It, just from a not first party Switch game at this point in its life, right? Like it's just very clean looking.
Yeah, I'll look into this. Like it seems nice. Is like a jug of water he's got on his back, you think?
It's like it charges a thing. I think he's like I think he's a construct of some kind that like this old man created a long time ago. I don't think he's a real human.
Okay. It does seem neat.
Yeah, this is why I like to just see what the demos are on Switch every now and then, because it's easy to find them because they've got that. If you go to search, they've just got a demos button right there.
Yeah. I wonder how long this is.
I don't know.
Or like this demo is. I bet you it ends when you walk through here.
No, it doesn't, because I played this far. I think yeah. Then there's like this like larger area. I want to say there might have been some creatures to interact with, but I don't know if it really looked necessarily like there was combat per se. I'm not sure. I mean, it definitely seems like more of a peaceful game.
Gotta pay up for cornhole, all in or nothing. Add that to your wish list. So someday.
It's got to be played with the Joy-Con, right?
Yeah. I mean, this looks impressive for the system, too.
It does, doesn't it?
But maybe it's...
I mean, it's...
There's not, like, a lot of physics stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, you can see where they cut corners and stuff, but it's an art style that comes together pretty nicely, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
This is, like, exactly the kind of thing we were talking about earlier.
It is. Like, they picked an art style that works on this, like, decade-old chipset, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Viro says, let's see it handle 3 Bowsers. Yeah, but can it do 3 Bowsers? It's like...
That's like the new mark of
yeah,
is a system
like,
powerful
is it
enough?
pushing the hardware? Because you know those 3 Bowsers are basically pushing the 64 like almost to its limit.
And it was doing it was chugging, but better. It was doing better than I thought it would. But anyway, that's a thing. I just thought it was.
Yeah,
I just thought it was worth showing since it was just right there.
Yeah.
So. This Anton Blast is like a. It was I think a recent indie direct. It's like it's very much a Wario Land 4 clone, kind of the vein of what Pizza Tower also is.
Mm-hmm. I still don't know what Pizza Tower looks like.
It looks like Wario Land 4 except even more twisted. Or it plays like Wario Land 4. I guess it doesn't necessarily look. It looks maybe a little bit like it, but anyway, that will probably do it for us this time.
All right. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight and everybody who hung out.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's fun. I hope everyone has a good week ahead of them.
And
everyone take care.
Yep, we will see you.
Stay safe.
Next Sunday.
Stay hydrated. And take care.